Zanu PF slams Malema for interference in Zimbabwe's affairs. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The ruling party of Zimbabwe, Zanu PF, Information Secretary Chris Mutanga has responded to South African opposition leader Julius Malema's interference in Zimbabwe's internal matters. This comes after the economic freedom fighters leader Julius Malema called for the Zimbabwean youth to rise up against President Emmerson Mnangagwa's administration and to stop any attempt by him to extend his rule beyond the constitutional limit. Malema urged Zimbabweans to unite against the government oppression and appealed to regional bodies like SADC to take a definitive stand against President Emmerson Mnangagwa's regime. In his response, Mutanga questioned Malema's credibility, saying that the EFF leader had recently lost an election in South Africa and was attempting to revive his political fortunes by meddling in Zimbabwe's affairs. Check out this video.
Now, to get Malema from South Africa, coming from Norway, talking about succession in Zimbabwe, it shows that this is a foreign agenda. And to whom does Malema pander to? He panders to the dictates of the post-colonial or of the colonial company, colonial era company, Anglo-American, which is an offshoot from Cecil John Rhodes, which actually ran this region from Cape Town up to the Copper Belt in Congo and Zambia. And it manifests itself today in an organization called the Brandest Foundation. The Brandest Foundation is the one which authored Mumba of Zambia's document about the elections in Zimbabwe. This is the ilk from which Julius Malema emanates from. He posits as a pseudo-revolutionary and a cryptic intellectual. He never properly went to school. And he propounds big theories about how Zimbabwe should be run, as if it is his own country. At 43 years of age, he is no longer a youth. Who is he from South Africa to try to tell the youths of Zimbabwe who should be their ruler? Malema, Pakatipo Payama. He has just been in an election. He comes third for a party which broke away from the NC several years ago. Third from Umkondo Esizwe's MK from Zuma, a party which is hardly 6 months. It's clear that his pseudo-revolutionary message within South Africa has reached a dead end. That's why he could be overtaken. That's why he never made it himself to become the president. So charity begins at home. If you are so good at leadership that you can give strictures to Zimbabwean youth, why not make it success your own homegrown?
Guys, clearly the governance in Zimbabwe is living in a fantasy world, or they are not aware of the dire situation of Zimbabwe, or what? Because what is wrong with Julius Malema trying to empower the youth to take back their country, to fight for their country, for their homes? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if a party is responsible for the economic collapse of a country, that party should vacate. And in this case, Zanu PF has proven to be useless in that country. The economic state of the country has collapsed. Their money that has recently been revived is almost worthless again, if we are being honest. So what is wrong with Julius Malema trying to empower the youth? There's nothing wrong with that. Unless they are comfortable with stealing from the people of Zimbabwe, stealing money that is meant to transform the economy and the livelihood of Zimbabweans. Because there is no other reason why you should catch feelings when a fellow African is advising his fellow African people to rise up and stand up and take back what is theirs. Because clearly the government is failing them. The people of Zimbabwe don't even want to be in Zimbabwe in the first place. The people of Zimbabwe are everywhere except in Zimbabwe. That should tell you something. The president should be worried and ask himself, why are my children so displaced? They are everywhere but home. That should tell you something. They don't want to be in there. They are depressed. They are frustrated by the inability of their government to provide services for them. Services that their livelihood depend on. So what Julius Malema is doing it's not, they're acting like it's a terrorist attack or something. So clearly they have something to hide. I mean, for someone to catch feelings so much that they spew nonsense about Julius Malema, it means he touched a nerve. It means they know that they are sitting in that parliament house, they're sitting in those government positions just to eat money and nothing else, just to enrich themselves. Because clearly the country's collapsed. It's collapsed. Do you think Zimbabweans like being displaced everywhere in the world? No. They too want to be home. They want to build their home. They want to leave a legacy for their children. Their children need to know where they come from. Their children need to grow up in Zimbabwe, know their ancestors of Zimbabwe, know the history of Zimbabwe, be proud of Zimbabwe, but they can't. Majority of these kids, the upcoming kids of these youth that we're trying to empower, they're going to be born in London, some in Australia, some in New York, and they're going to be unwanted. The original residents of those countries, they're going to kick them out. Already in the UK, it is not looking good. The UK people are tired of foreigners. They are kicking anyone out that does not even belong in the UK, whether you have citizenship or not. As long as you don't resemble their skin color, or if you are not born there, you are out. You are out. They're kicking you out. So this is going to be a repeated cycle for all the people of Africa that migrate to different countries. It's going to be a cycle. How are the kids going to know where they're coming from? All because the government is depressing them. They enjoy being in those positions just to eat money. There's nothing wrong with what Julius Malema is doing. Clearly, he touched a nerve. And clearly, the youth of the Zimbabwe, if they are smart, they will they will take Julius Malema's advice, let it simmer, and they'll go back home and they will fight for that land. That is just my opinion. I don't know. That is just I know it's not going to be easy to revive an economy that has been long dead. It's no rocket science. It's not easy as ABC. But they should start to do something, because there is no improvement if we are being honest. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Shulbal Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora